Well, it's been quite a while since we last saw each other. I think the last true video or vlog or anything was about a year ago. I can't even remember really. A lot has happened since then. I think one of the biggest changes that you'll see here is that we have moved to a new garage. I still have the old place. It's still where the old white E36 is right now. And we're going to be taking a look at that in a minute. But yeah, I've been away for about a year. Building this new space, and it's pretty cool. It's much closer to where I live, so it's going to be easier to just jump in here, make some videos, do some stuff, which is obviously very exciting. I also bought a new car, which is the E36 that I'm looking at right now. It's a pretty cool car, it's a pretty cool machine. I sold the Saab about a year ago, went to a new owner, and with that money I bought this E36 320i. It's a 6-cylinder car, 2-liter, so yeah, pretty good machine. A one-owner car, 110,000 kilometers when I bought it. Practically new. The car is in extremely good shape, very fun to drive. The reason that I sold the Saab is because it was more aimed at luxury, easy cruising. It felt very heavy to drive, it wasn't tight. The E36 is a much more sporty platform, and I was looking for a good grand tourer, so I think the E36, especially a 6-cylinder, is a good choice in that regard. It's a 2-liter, I know, but who says that I cannot put a 2.5 or whatever in it at a later point? Anyway, the new garage, let me quickly show you around, because it's been a year, but we haven't really sat still. We did make some progress with the white E36, as in getting parts to do the manual swap, and obviously these bucket seats. So yeah, let's take a look around. So a new space, obviously this is pretty exciting. It took a long time to get this finished, and that's the biggest reason, as I just said, why there haven't really been any videos in the past year. But I hope that it's going to be easier right now to just make some vlogs, make some videos on the go, and keep you guys up to date with what we're doing with all the cars. I think, yeah, first of all, the MGB is still here. Still strong, still in one piece. This car has been at a friend's house of mine for about a year, because I bought this car 1 year ago. I didn't really have room for the NGB anymore, so it went to a friend's house for a year. I didn't drive it for a year, and I missed it. Yeah, it's a really nice car, and very fun driving a 1960s car. I kind of forgot how fun these cars are, and I doubted many times whether or not I should sell the MGB and buy something different, but I think I'll always love a good 1950s or 1960s driving experience, and for this kind of money the MGB is, yeah, basically the only option. Then on the other hand we have the red E36, another red car. Currently it is fully stock. I don't really plan to keep it that way, but yeah, it drives well, it performs well, it's very reliable, so overall it's fine as it is right now, and then at some point I'll do some stuff with it, make it a little bit more sporty with some bigger tires, coilovers and whatnot, but that's not something for today. Other than that, yeah, these are the 5 original wheels for the red E36. I think the biggest thing that we'll see for the white E36 are these 2 gearboxes. One of them is a ZF gearbox, the other one is just a normal Getrag gearbox. We were able to scoop up the ZF gearbox for a very good price. I honestly don't know which one of these 2 is the ZF, but it doesn't matter. We're going to start with putting the Getrag gearbox on there on the white E36, and yeah, we'll see if we can do something with the ZF at a later point. So yeah, basically I think almost all the parts that we need for the manual swap are right here. There are a bunch of little parts, and obviously a new clutch set and lighter flywheel that we still need to buy. But the big parts are here, which is very exciting. And then obviously the bucket seats are a must-have as well for any track car. The goal with the white E36 is to take it to the Nürburgring. We would do that rather sooner than later, so hopefully at the end of this year, if the manual swap goes smoothly, or otherwise the next year in 2025, we can take it to the Nürburgring and do a few laps. That would be really, really cool. So as a very quick tour, this is the garage. It is 50 square meters about. I can fit 2 cars in here quite comfortably. I think 3 cars would work as well, but we're going to keep it to 2 because we want to put a workbench here on the left. You can see we already made some points where some socket points in here. I already built a tool board and I want to build a workbench myself as well. Right there in the corner, I foresaw some space to put like a drill or a press or whatever. Then on the other side of the E36, on the right side of the garage, I would love to create like a little chill space or something, maybe put like a small sofa in here. I've got this big racing tire, which it would be cool to put like a circular piece of glass on there as a side table. I want to put some shelves in here to put some stuff on, maybe even like a racing simulator seat or something. I want this garage to be something like a place where you can work, but also a place where you can hang out. Obviously, I would love to put a lot of stuff on the walls. You can see there is a lot of space on these walls to put posters, pictures, maybe even like a 125 Rotex Max Senior card. That would be pretty cool as well. Just put some random stuff on the wall. Have this as a true chill space, and just enjoy being here, having a few drinks with friends. Put like a fridge in here. It's going to be pretty cool. So I think the future of Retroschaft is partially going to be car builds, but also just finishing this garage and doing stuff in here because it's pretty cool for any guy, any car guy or any car person to build a space where they can enjoy their hobby. So building my space is obviously going to be a big part of this journey here as well. Now I did say that we were going to take a look at the white E36. Let's jump into the MGB and drive over to the car. The thing that I love about 1960s cars is they offer a completely unique driving experience, and they all come from a time when the mechanics were very simple, but every single brand tried to do their own thing with it, tried to make the best car they could, and it's just all of these 1960s cars drive wildly differently. And as much as I love my E36 or any kind of 80s or 90s cars, they just don't offer the same driving experience as a car from the 50s or the 60s. And this MGB is obviously, well, it's very 60s. And it's just, the sounds, the smells, the fact that it's very, like, it's not difficult to drive, but it's a very heavy experience. The steering wheel is obviously not assisted, the brakes are not assisted. And even though it's not very exciting making videos about an MGB, I understand that videos about a Skyline or something are much more exciting because they make like 600, 700, 800 horsepower or more. But just the driving fun that you can have in a small 90 horsepower MGB or maybe even a 50 horsepower Mini Cooper or something like that is just, it's immense. And I really do recommend everyone to go and try a 1960s car. If you've never driven one, you've only driven like 90s sports cars and stuff, go and try a 60s one. I'm not going to say that that owning one is for everyone, definitely not. But doing a road trip in one of these is for sure a very unique experience, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, if I were to road trip this car to the Alps, even getting there is quite an achievement, let alone driving in the Alps itself. It's a whole different kind of road tripping, a whole different kind of driving. When I would take the E36 to the Alps, if I'm ever going to do that, or when I'm ever going to do that, it's going to be a case of just taking the motorway, drive like 8 hours straight, and then enjoy the Alps for like 5 days. with this car it's more like taking 5 days just to get to the Alps and then driving all the way back. Like it's a different kind of road tripping, just because this car doesn't really sit comfortably on the highway. I don't really think it's safe to drive these kind of cars on the highway. You can obviously, but it's not the most fun thing to do, so. And just like that, we are here in the good old hangar, garage, shed, whatever you want to call it. And behind me is the white E36. Basically exactly where we left it after the last video. Hasn't really moved a bit. Also, I was here like 6 months ago, started the car, heard that the engine was maybe a little bit dry from sitting a long time, give it a few revs, let it warm up, ticking went away, engine sounds super healthy. Looked underneath the car to see if anything was leaking, and lo and behold, there was a pretty major fuel leak. Obviously, we wanted to move the car to the new garage as soon as it was finished or usable. But with a major fuel leak, it's pretty difficult to move the car because we'll have to drive it on the public road to the new place. So yeah, obviously that was going to be impossible with fuel leaking out of the car like crazy. Which then started the whole search of where was it coming from. And I was actually coming from right above where the rear seats would be. And it ended up being this part right here, so this white plastic piece. We have two like fuel connectors that go in here, two fuel lines that are on like this white piece that sticks out of here. And one of those pieces at the base had a crack in it, and as it was pumping up fuel, this entire thing here, this entire white thing was filled with fuel. It was actually leaking out of there onto the ground, which was obviously not ideal. But after a bit of fiddling around and trying different things, I actually found that there was that piece, because that wasn't really apparent immediately. I bought a new one, fitted it to the car I think last week. I just started it. We'll start it in a minute again. And it looks all right. So I think this car is fixed, and it's basically ready to be transported to the new garage, to the new place. The only thing that I want to do first is give the red E36 a good maintenance, because that car hasn't had any maintenance since I bought it. So I bought a new air filter, oil filter, new oil for it. So yeah, that needs to happen first, but it's a pretty quick job, and then we'll move the white E36 to the new place. So yeah, that's basically a pretty substantial update on the state of things. As I said, that garage was the biggest piece in the puzzle that didn't allow me to film a lot in the past year. I also became a father. Yeah, that's also a pretty big project that is still ongoing, obviously, and luckily. But yeah, other than that, I do have more time now that the garage is like mostly finished, and I want to put that time for a big part into the white E36 to hopefully make it usable pretty soon. Because I mean, look at this thing. It's pretty epic seeing it stand here. One of the other things that we did was fit a spacer on the steering wheel, because this is like a flat dish steering wheel, and it's basically flat, and it was too much like against the cluster of the car. Like, it sat too far away from you. So I put a spacer on here, and right now the seating position is a lot better, and yeah, it allows for more leg room. It allows for better maneuvering with the car if you're in tight corners. So as a race car, obviously it will be much better. I think that combined with the bucket seats will make it a lot of fun to drive. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get this build progressed, order some parts, and make some changes. So yeah, to be continued, and hopefully we'll see you pretty soon. So yeah, we'll start the car up in a minute, but other than that, take care, and I'll see you in the next one, which hopefully isn't going to be in a year. No worries, the car was warmed up beforehand, but I do think that this thing is kind of running out of fuel. We put it away with full tank 1 or 2 years ago, but I think due to all the leaking and whatnot, I think that the tank is almost empty. So yeah, we'll need to fill it up as well with fuel before we transport it. Cars, man, it's one issue after the other. It's pain, but we love it. We're masochists, we car guys, car enthusiasts, car persons, whatever. We're masochists. We like delivering pain to ourselves. Anyway, take care, guys.